happened in Bitcoin on January 3rd, 2009, and why is it important? Let's mine deep. 15 years ago, the first ever Bitcoin block on the blockchain was mined by Satoshi Nakamoto, also known as the Genesis block. This inaugurated and anchored the Bitcoin blockchain, marking the commencement of the decentralized digital financial experiment envisioned by its anonymous creator. The Genesis block, also known as Block Zero, holds a special place in Bitcoin lore. The term Genesis is derived from the Greek word meaning origin or beginning. Thus, the first block in the chain is referred to as the Genesis block because it represents the starting point of the entire blockchain. It serves as the foundation from which all subsequent blocks in the blockchain derive. There are many things that make the Genesis block unique. Perhaps none as iconic as the embedded message in its Coinbase transaction, a nod to the financial crisis of the time. The message reads, "The Times, 03 January 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks," emphasizing the motivation behind Bitcoin's creation to provide an alternative, decentralized financial system that operates outside traditional banking structures. It signifies Bitcoin's purpose to challenge central bank policies and establish a decentralized sound money system. Mining the Genesis block not only initiated the Bitcoin blockchain, but also laid the groundwork for the proof of work consensus mechanism that secures the network. The Genesis block itself did not issue any Bitcoin, but the subsequent block, Block 1, mined 6 days later, had an initial block reward set to 50 Bitcoin. This was a young financial network, and due to a 100-block time lock on all freshly issued Bitcoin, it wasn't until Block 170 that an actual Bitcoin transaction occurred inside a block. So the Genesis block was founded on January 3rd, and the network itself was launched on January 9th. But not only are we celebrating Bitcoin's birthday on January 3rd, but Proof of Keys Day. This holiday was started by the infamous Bitcoin OG, Tracy Mayer, who rallied people to withdraw their Bitcoin en masse from centralized exchanges and custodians.
Where we declare and redeclare our monetary sovereignty every January 3rd as a celebration of the Genesis block.
The reason? Only by withdrawing their Bitcoin can people ensure companies aren't taking part in the old and established vice of fractional reserve banking. Moreover, only with Bitcoin in their possession, held by a wallet to which they control the keys, can people be free to do as they please with their Bitcoin. There are many different ways to do self-custody, and while it can be daunting at first, it's a necessary step to take the leap from the old to the new system. Why should you care? We need to celebrate the beginning of the Bitcoin revolution. This event symbolizes the rebellion against traditional financial system.
But this thing is, you can't kill it.
Advocating for sound money principles and individual financial sovereignty. January 3rd is a reminder of the revolutionary genesis of Bitcoin that challenges the very essence of centralized control over money and the people that use it. It's a day to reflect on the principles of Bitcoin and the importance of taking control of your own financial destinies through self-custody and ownership of private keys. Remember, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. Don't miss Matej Zak Backstage. For those that don't understand the concept of having your own wallet, how would you explain it?
The idea is that in self-custody, because that's what we are talking about, the concept where you store your own private keys. And the idea is that the hardware wallet basically keeps them securely offline. They are never online in any server, therefore they cannot be hacked on over the internet attack. So that's the idea of a hardware wallet.
To explain it in order, let's talk about, moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas. So they understand the concept of, yes, buying your Bitcoin, but they normally leave it on the exchanges because it's super complicated to set up your cold card, to have your own storage. You know what I mean? To be your own bank. They've been trained since they were born to trust in the bank system, to utilize a third party to keep their money for them. So how is that how are you making that shift like easier for them to do it, and how would you say like convince them that it's okay to be your own bank?
Got it. So you mentioned cold card, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you should use Trezor because it's actually very very easy to do. So you can transfer the coins from exchange to self custody of a Trezor in quite easy way. And we are working on making the user interface really easy, very intuitive, and it's actually not that hard as many people think. It's just the self custody concept is a bit different because. Typically in, for example, bank, if you lose the password or something, you still can go physically to talk to somebody. They will give you the password, and you get the access again. If you in self-custody, if you lose, backup of your private keys, or if you lose in some way the keys, then that's a very costly mistake because simply you don't have it any longer, and you lost your coins. So I think the question was how moms and dads can can get the coins of exchanges. So it's actually quite easy. So if you really just go to our site and we have a lot of tutorials, you realize that really it takes minutes to get into self-custody, and that's more secure, more safe, and actually quite easy to use.
If you would have to give 3 tips on self-custody, what would it be? Get
into it, because that would be probably number 1. Don't be scared, because really it's not that easy. And number 3, I don't know. Get Trezor, I guess. Get Trezor specifically. It's an obvious one, of course, because you are from Trezor.
And you're launching one over in November. Can you talk about the new product that you're launching?
Yeah, so the new products are actually available for order right now. We actually have received hundreds of orders within a couple of hours of the launch, which is quite cool. And we are launching a new entry-level hardware wallet that we call Trezor Safe 3. And a way of the backup of your private keys, because it gives you the seed phrase. So we found a new product completely, a new range completely that we call Trezor Keep, and it's basically seed phrase storage solution. So you punch in the words, the backup of the private keys in the steel, and it keeps it secure for the long term, and it's very durable, very easy to use, and all that.
Let's backtrack on how you got into Bitcoin.
So, I was interested in general, in cool technologies. It sounds very lame, but it's exactly how it started. So I started talking to some people that basically were in Bitcoin, I don't know, some 6 years, maybe more, 7 years ago. And that's how I got into it. Basically friends telling me about it, and I was like, okay, it's cool. I should try.
And now you're paving the way to making self-custody easier, so that's good.
Exactly. It's the whole, we are on the mission basically to make crypto security easy for everyone. So that's the main point why we are here.